Hi everybody. Okay, so we are back again. Sorry about that. So I already shuffled the cards. So I had to just redo them real quickly. You know what? Everything's all discombobulated. Okay, so we are just gonna start fresh. Fresh energy. Fresh energy. Fresh energy. All right, so again, this is just a general reading, so please keep in mind that some messages may resonate with you, some may not, just because it is such a general reading, right? And being that since it is for the collective, there's going to be things that obviously don't resonate with you, but may resonate with somebody else, only because we are all going through different things, right? Not everybody is on the same path. Not everybody is having the same events happen to them at the very same instant, right? Life is ever changing, so therefore some messages may be for you and some may not. All right, so we're gonna keep going. There we go. And we're finally getting somewhere. All right, so the first card that did come out, also, I apologize. I was trying to set this up so that you guys can just pay attention to the cards and not have to see me. But it didn't work out, so we're just going to look at my face for a little bit longer. Okay. First card that came out was the Wheel of Fortune card, right? The Wheel of Fortune card, if this one came out before anything else, right? So this is signifying that this is our theme. So our theme is change. Okay, because the Wheel of Fortune is all about closing chapters. It's about completing cycles also. It's also about like the ups and downs of life, right? Because when you think of the Wheel of Fortune, the tides are always turning. Sometimes the tides are in your favor and other time the tides are not. But what is being drawn to my attention is my eyes are going from here up. Okay, so my eyes are being drawn upward. If my eyes were to be drawn downward, this would tell me that right now we're in a period where things are not really going in our favor. But being that my eyes were drawn upwards, it's like we're getting out of this period of stagnation, but we're also getting out of this period of feeling left out in the cold. That's the first words that came to mind. So let me just get these cards out for us and then we will continue. The first card fell. Alright, that's fine. Alright. So we have the Justice, the Three of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. Justice. Alright, so in regards to the Wheel of Fortune energy, when things are moving upwards in energy, this is telling us that these are things that we are bringing into balance, okay? So some of the things that are happening, some of the things that are turning are things going into your favor in regards to things being more imbalanced with your favor, right? You're almost stepping, it feels like you're breaking the fourth wall, right? You're stepping past limitations, belief systems. You're stepping also past old foundations that have been built for you, right? You're moving away from them because underneath that we have the Six of Wands. So it's like you've decided like there's certain aspects within your world, so to speak, that work for you, right? There's certain belief systems that work for you. There's certain ideas that make you feel comfortable, right? And keep things copacetic. But then there's also things that you've been recognizing that you're like, you know what, no, like things need to change. The whole foundation of this subject matter that my life is currently projecting and or reflecting is no longer working with the path that I want, right? It doesn't actually fulfill me in more ways than one. It doesn't bring me generations worth of healing. It doesn't bring me generations worth of love. It doesn't like it. It's like you're like, I'm done with that. Like we don't need that aspect in us anymore. Like we're recognizing so much emotional fulfillment that can come out of us breaking those foundational belief systems. And a lot of it has to do with the mind, but also, so we have the King of Swords, but we also have the Queen of Wands, okay? And for me, Wands is our willpower. It's our drive. It's also source, right? It's like fire energy, the pillar of God. It's like a flaming pillar, right? So the Queen of Wands, right? So this is us going after what it is that we want creatively, but also aligning our inner divine feminine with more reciprocity, right? Recognize, and again, this is gender neutral because everybody has divine masculine and divine feminine energy within them, right? So it's like we're allowing a balancing act to come into our divine feminine nature. And because of this balancing act, and it may have been like very incongruent in your family line, there could have been a very much like, it's like clear, well-defined roles within the family, but these roles that are well-defined within the family are not balanced. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so let's get some clarifying cards. But overall, what's what's great, excuse me, is your level up that's happening, and you're also utilizing your throat chakra more, right? You're utilizing your spoken word. It could even be, I'm seeing somebody like write out a text message also in my mind, so you could have just sent out like a huge paragraph text to somebody regarding this, or like almost venting about it. And if that's how you do that, that's very good, as long as we make sure that if it is time for us to actually release it, definitely advise writing letters. You don't mail the letters, you just write them, word vomit everything, emotional vomit everything, and then burn it. Because, you know, fire is fun, but not really, because fire symbolizes transmutation. Okay. All right. So we have the Page of Pentacles, and then we have the Five of Pentacles, and what wasn't shown was Three of Pentacles, but like, duh. So this, they're like, oh, by the way, so this foundational belief systems that we're also working towards changing are also how you make money, right? So these traditional roles, and like, you could even be stepping into a role that is not very traditional, something that your family has decided like is not socially acceptable. And you're like, yeah, hi, this is me. I love you. You can accept me. It's okay if you don't accept me. It's okay if you want to leave me out in the cold. But it doesn't bother me, because I am going to continue to build on my foundations. I'm going to continue to build the life that I want, to be able to leave a legacy, to be able to build generational, not only wealth, but like emotional stability, emotional maturity for generations to come. Okay, I'm hearing worthiness. So the worthiness issues is something that could be worked on as well in this very moment in time. This could also be stemming from a lot, because we have a lot of kings out in the first line, right? So this could be stemming from the male side of the family as well, but it doesn't have to be, right? It could be like your grandfather's mother. You know what I mean? So like great, you know what I mean? I don't know how to put that. Don't even quote me on that, but it's like, it's coming from male side of the family more, or it's like more male dominated energy. Yeah. So it's like an imbalance in the male emotional thinking patterns and or processing patterns, and or like balancing responsibilities within the household. Interesting. All right, so that's a very interesting story. Sorry guys, my nose is deciding to run like crazy. Let's see what else is coming through. So we're going to move away kindly from that energy. All right. Thank you very much. Ooh, I just got very lightheaded. I don't know if anybody has been getting lightheaded or feeling dizzy lately, not being grounded in their body. Highly suggest taking salt baths. Whether it's like a cup or 2 cups of salt in your bathtub. And then if you want to go like the next level up from that, you can do salt and baking soda. These two? No, this one. Okay. Alright, so let's stop there. Start with face cards. Oh. Okay. All right, so they're saying I need to read this 2 different ways. Okay. So we have the Emperor and then we also have the Devil. So this is showing us that there are attachments that we have, certain mental and or emotional attachments that we have tied to, again, Emperor, family, okay? So masculine side of the family. The other way that they're asking me to read this is that for some people in this collective, you're recognizing that a male partner that you're with doesn't have your best interests in mind. And you're recognizing that this person has so many different options, or is like constantly always keeping their options open. And your intuition is like, red flag, red flag, red flag. So if you are coming on here and wondering, is anything like that happening? That is your confirmation, and I apologize. But messages are messages, right? It's probably for your highest good that you found that. But going back to the family situation, these attachments that you're working through foundationally within the family have to do with your emotional commitment to material gains. And part of the reason why they're explaining like part of the reason why you've had such a troublesome experience or like you can get money but then you don't have money, then you get money, then you don't have money, like there isn't this consistent stability of money within your life and or like financial abundance, is because you have seen how greed changes people's perspective on life and even just how they treat other people, and you're also a little bit afraid of it changing you. But the fact that you even have that mental and emotional maturity level and or introspective response to even think like and question like, will I change, should be guidance enough for you to know like the likelihood of you changing, right? Everybody will change a little bit, but you're not going to turn into some crazy megalomaniac as soon as you start to become financially stable. So don't be afraid of that. There's nothing to fear in regards to that. And anytime that you're having this like, or you're like, not like having this urge feeling or like feeling this emotion come up about money, like let's say you think about the lottery and then you start to wonder like, oh my God, but if I have all this money, who's going to come after me? Who's going to all of a sudden come out of the woodwork? Who's going to be the one to be like, oh, you owe me this? Like, oh, do you remember when I helped you out with this? Like, one, that fucking petrifies you. But 2, you're also afraid that like, if I come into this amount of money, like, how are people around me going to change also? Am I still going to get the same level of respect, or am I going to have like fair weather friends? But I think you are more emotionally mature than you were in the past, clearly, but you're also at a point in life where you're able to have better discernment. So they're asking you to stop fearing things like that, because it's like, why are you blocking yourself from your own success? Why would you do that? That's dumb. Like you're constantly battling your own brain regarding your success, which is so silly. And you're constantly casting judgment against yourself regarding this. So there's definitely, wow, with the devil on the bottom, like again, these attachments that we have to do with these perceived judgments that we have regarding fear around money, but also regarding like our own wounding of like how we're going to change, how we're going to be affected, like the level of change that might happen internally and externally. Like for some people, change is scary, right? And so that's why they're kind of blocking their own self from this money. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right, so they want this first, this second, this third. Mm-hmm. 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 I feel like there is another one somewhere. Sorry, Mars. Love you, girl. All right, so I don't see anything else, so I think we're good. All right. More messages, yeah. Yeah, ultimately though, you're recognizing that you do have a choice in the matter. And you're recognizing that because you're actually deciding to go inward and do research, have a greater level of understanding, have a greater level of knowledge, like you're teaching yourself things, right? The Hierophant means somebody who is actively learning, actively engaging. And then we have the Lover's card before that. So we're choosing to understand and learn what significant emotions we have. Like, what's the emotional significant? Why can't I talk today? Is this happening to some people too, where you just are getting caught up in your words and you're like, I'm trying to get a message out and it's not working? So I don't know if that's also happening within this collective, because I'm having so much trouble speaking right now, which is so weird. Okay. Anyway, like I was saying, you're choosing to decide to do the work on recognizing what emotional foundational belief systems need to go. A lot of this is stemming from your childhood, and a lot of this is also stemming from older ancestral lines. But once you do have that inner recognition of like what specific belief pattern you've been almost holding on to for dear life as like a safety net, you're going to be able to recognize and to be able to open up yourself from going from the Nine of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, Nine of Pentacles is somebody who has their shit together, is somebody who is like materially abundant. Okay, and they're very smart, very, very calculated. They know exactly what needs to be done and they get to it. Okay, it's earth energy, so you could be an earth sign. You don't have to be an earth sign. But when you're going from the Nine of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles, just look at the composure difference of the character. Like, yeah, this girl is over here in her garden, but she does kind of look a little bit hesitant. She's like, yeah, I've got this hawk on my shoulder, and I guess that's kind of cool. And like, look at my garden. I think I did this. I'm not really sure how I did this, but I'm doing it. And then you go from that to the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles is just sitting pretty on her throne, like, you know what, bitch, I got this. This is my kingdom. Welcome. We're going to have to talk before you get comfortable in here. But if it's copacetic and we can work together and you can, bring some reciprocity to the table, then we can make things work. But you're no longer just allowing yourself to do things for other people just to do them, right? You're no longer allowing yourself to continue those foundational belief systems that have just been perpetuated throughout cycles and cycles in your family. You're like, now we're not doing that anymore. We're good. We are good. All right. So is there any final messages? My hands are about to... All right, so final messages. Yeah, it's so funny. A lot of this has to do with your mental energy. Like, a lot of this has to do with the way you're thinking about yourself. Those small, like, even the tiniest little beliefs that, like, just sneak in there. Or, like, things that we're just so used to saying and we're just unconsciously saying them. And then when you actually think about what you're saying, you're like, holy shit, I'm putting myself down so much just by saying these little things that I'm literally throwing blocks into my energy. And your mind will do that. Like, at our very core nature, we are all pure consciousness. We are all pure energy. Like, in this material reality, like, we have dense physical bodies in order to coexist and or experience within this reality, right? But what a lot of us are coming to the awakening of understanding is, like, our thoughts literally map out our reality around us, and our thoughts can literally interject things to happen and or not happen within our life. When I tell you, like, life is just a dream. Like, life is literally like you're lucid dreaming. Things are building up and breaking down as soon as you are not paying attention to them. Like, and when you have that level of understanding, you really start to track and or pinpoint and focus in on what thought patterns, what thoughts are literally messaging us. Like, okay, that was dumb, Jen. No, like, what thoughts are the messengers for our soul? Like, our thoughts, all right, like backwards. Our thoughts are literally the messengers of our soul sometimes too, right? So like, we're recognizing what thoughts are blocking us from creating a happy dream, creating the life of our dreams. Like, why do they say the life of our dreams? Because this life is literally a dream. It's a holographic projection of reality based on your internal belief systems, wounding, and ego. Okay. So if you come to that realization and you recognize and train your thoughts to project, think, and or release things that are blocking what it is that you truly want, you are able to manipulate the reality around yourself, because it's simply just projecting your internal world to you. That was a mouthful. Again, this could be a very general reading because this is a live reading, okay? So if you want one-on-one readings, there will be very more specific energy that comes in, like more specific information, but has to be very, very broad, so to speak, because it's a collective reading. All right, so our advice, we have the moon card. Oh, sure. That was fast. Yeah, our advice. I mean, our advice makes a lot of sense, okay? So we have moon, we have ace of cups, we have death, we have high priestess, okay? And the advice, what we can do is we can choose like main topic words, right? Main topic words, moons, hidden emotions. Okay, that's the sentence so far. Hidden emotions. Gifts. Interesting. Gifts. Okay. Transformation. It's a death card. Intuition. Or like higher knowledge. Okay, those were the keywords. So based off those keywords, what does that tell you? Our hidden emotions are low-key gifts that we have. They're almost like, I see like a treasure box with like gemstones, right? Those hidden emotions are those gemstones that we have. They're like gifts. They're different treasures that we have, right? And we have the ability to unlock these treasures and have these transformations take place and allow our intuition to guide us, right? And when we allow our intuition to guide these transformations that are taking place, we literally get gifted and we literally start to see the underlining and or inner workings of your universe, the world around you, your life, your consciousness, your soul, like everything. So our advice is, like I said, recognize what hidden emotions you have. View those hidden emotions that you are recognizing as gifts of transformation, seeds of growth, so to speak, and allow your intuition to then amplify from it, but also follow your intuition in regards to the messages that you're getting regarding what these emotions are coming from. Or if you don't want to really know where these emotions are coming from, because that's okay too. Like, God, like there's no judgment here. Just be like, God, I surrender it to you. I surrender it. This is what I know. I'm surrendering everything I don't know to you. I ask you to release this foundational belief system, this foundational thought pattern, all of the above from me, and I surrender it to you. And then just literally watch the transformation take place. Because once you surrender it, you're allowing higher levels of consciousness, higher levels of love, higher levels of energy to come in and change the form of it into something that's beneficial for you, not something that weighs you down and or drowns you, right? We don't need none of that. We don't need none of that. All right, my loves. This was a very interesting reading, very convoluted at some points. There was a lot of information coming through. If it resonated with you, I will be sharing this reading on YouTube. Please go on there, comment, like it, love it. I love you. I do personal readings, one-on-one readings. If you want to book a reading, message me. I will never reach out to you. That's creepy. And yeah, keep transforming. You're doing great. And just technically, like, the new year is not really like the energetic new year, but you can utilize it to your advantage, okay? And don't be so hard on yourself if you recognize in the next couple of weeks, like, some of the stuff that you are working on keeps coming back up and keeps coming back up. Allow it to come back up. The point in the matter is, how quickly do you allow yourself to, one, catch yourself that these emotions are coming back up, but also, like, how quickly do you forgive yourself for replaying that cycle, so to speak. And just keep going. Keep going. I know sometimes it sucks, and sometimes you just gotta rest. But otherwise, you're doing great. Love you. Keep on rocking. And if I don't see you before the new year, Happy New Year. Love you. Bye.